Morning guys, today I'm coming at you back at work for the year. I am setting up my bullet journal this morning and I thought you'd be interested to see it. So, the first page is going to be my 2019 goals and my 90-day goals for Q1, January to March. I am going to do a separate video all about these, so I didn't want to fill them in just yet. That will be coming in the next week for sure. Then we have the month. Don't know whether I'm going to keep this. I might just keep the monthly planning to just this. I am very married to my Google Calendar, but I thought as it's the new year and I just wanted the layout to look seamless and pretty, I thought I'd do it all together. This is the traditional way to do the month, so every single date of the month and then appointments and special dates and that kind of stuff. This is the bit that I'm creating this year though. This is new for me. I want to have my 90-day goals, or even just one or two of them that I'm focusing on for that month specifically. I love this less of and more of thing that I'm seeing more on reflection stuff. So less worrying, more time spent with family, or less scrolling on social media, more time spent, you know, getting a good night's sleep, whatever it might be. I really like that idea, so that's going here. And then this is for tasks and to-dos for the month. Sometimes I know something is coming up in the month, but I don't quite need to get around to it yet. That's what this is for, just to make sure it's all here and I can plan ahead a bit. Now moving on to my first weekly spread of the year, I would say this is the main part of my bullet journal and the main way I like to use it. This is like my lifeline. I would be so lost without this. So this is my favourite bit about my bullet journal and honestly keeps me sane. I'm the type of person who has to see everything in an overview. I need to know exactly what life looks like that week at a glance. So again, dates at the top and any appointments and events or whatever else I've got going on. And then I like to have sections to just overlook everything. So I like to keep my personal work and Weblog North work separate, so I can see what's going on with those. I often plan out my Instagram content, my workouts for the week, my budget. I have a space for other here to do like random errands like clean the car or get someone's birthday present or whatever it might be. And obviously I've not filled this in yet because most of it is confidential, but I thought this would give you a good idea of how I like it to look. If you're like me and you juggle different things, you might be a freelancer, you might be a mom, you might have several jobs or study and work, I find having a weekly spread that helps you stay on top of everything all in the same place is so helpful. And last but not least, this is the daily way I like to set up my to-do list. It doesn't always look as organised as this, but roughly I like to account for every single hour of my day. So important to incorporate breaks, you know, lunch break, exercise, whatever else is important to you. But every hour of the day is accounted for right up until it's time to relax in the evening. I always refer back to the weekly if I've got any appointments, and I always factor those into my day. I'll look back on my 90-day goals and the breakdown I've done for that and really try to incorporate that into my weekly spread. Think about how much time I have that day and take a handful of tasks off each of these, or one of them if I'm just having one focus day, and move them over to this day. It's definitely not a perfect way to do it, but it's just what works for me. And I find if I don't get something done, I do the little arrow. So if I've not ticked something off, I do a little arrow like that on the bullet, and that really helps me know what needs to carry over. However, I tend to get everything done when I do it this way because I massively overestimate the time I need to do things. I give myself a lot of buffer time between tasks, so I'm not sort of jumping from task to task. I might account for an hour for something, but that'll include a good 10-minute break or so, which really helps and makes me way more productive. Just to finish, I want to share some tips if you're starting a bullet journal this year or you want to. Number one, which I always say to everyone, it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine is not perfect. This is about as perfect as it gets, and it's really basic and simple. Don't be a perfectionist about it and just start it. I think people get overwhelmed by this blank notebook and feel like they have to have all these doodles and pretty things and beautiful coloured pens, and it's all just BS. Like, if that's what you want to do, you go for it, you enjoy yourself. But for me, it's a tool to stay organised and stay on top of my work and my life, and that's what it is. It's nothing more to me. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's just for you, so try to not be a perfectionist about it. And my second tip is keep it simple. Like, I'm so basic about it. Try to just start where you're at. Just start, you know, doing it daily, or just start doing it weekly, and add and try things out and figure out what works for you. You can always change your layout as you go throughout the year. I often do that, and I will end up doing that with this. So it's just a case of trial and error. Don't be a perfectionist and just have a go. And if you do make one, I'd love you to tag me on social if you're sharing it on your Instagram story or anywhere else. All my social is linked below, and I can't wait to connect with you more because I'm a massive nerd when it comes to organisation. So speak to you guys soon, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.